What is the main issue in Naguib Mahfouz short story, A Man of Awesome Power, which is contained in A Silent Song? Of course, power. And what does power do to Taib al-Mahdi? Power changes Taib al-Mahdi. When he gets the power, he becomes corrupt. Taib al-Mahdi changes from someone who is kind, compassionate, humane, thoughtful, well-meaning, and compassionate to someone who is controlled by negative emotions such as anger and fits of fury. Before he gets the power, he has very good plans, benevolent plans. When he gets the power, then he started becoming narcissistic and selfish, and he uses the power for his own selfish reason. And in the same breath, he hurts other people. Let us look at an example of an essay question that we can build from that particular insight. When someone is given too much power, they can abuse their position. We want to see Taib al-Mahdi receiving the power, and also we want to see Taib al-Mahdi abusing their position when they get the power. In short, we want to see how power corrupts Taib al-Mahdi. Well, first and foremost, in building the background for each of the points that we're going to get here, we need to show that Taib does not have power at first, and we need to see how he is without power. Let me just look at some of the way he is described. One, he's deeply relaxed. His mission has come to an end. He is contented. He is moderately wealthy. All the daughters are married. So how does he spend his evenings? Just, watching TV, reading newspapers, and listening to a radio channel dedicated to the Quran, meaning he's pious or religious. He had retired, discharged his duties in a commendable way, and he feels like he still has the worries of the world on his shoulders. But then, when he gets the power, we are told that it is beyond his comprehension. He does not understand. So this power is too much for him because he cannot comprehend. But anyway, he feels that now with the power, he can execute his benevolent plans. So that is Taib before he gets the power. But when he gets the power, after he gets the power, he is described as someone who becomes resentful, someone who is enraged, and that is with the taxi incident. Look at how he glares at the taxi driver after he had punished him by shattering the rear wheels of his taxi. Look at how Taib al-Mahdi again is filled with great irritation. That is now that he has the power, but before that, these things did not disturb him that much. When a taxi driver would drive past him, it wasn't that bad. But now that he has the power, he is filled with great irritation, meaning the power is corrupting him and his thinking. Do you feel like Taib al-Mahdi had done his duty in the best manner possible when he makes the brute on the bus to double over, to suffer severe cramps, and thus end up mourning and screaming in pain? Is that something humane? Is that something thoughtful? Is that something someone who is religious or pious would do? In relation to the cheekiness or the bad manners, the way he slaps the woman and argues with the woman on the bus, does he deserve the punishment? Is the punishment fair? Is the punishment just? Why does Taib al-Mahdi make the radio announcer, to sneeze? And look at how he makes him sneeze. He sneezes massively without warning, and then he sneezes abruptly, more emphatically. Then these sneezes keep waylaying him until he feels like that he had been seized by an unforeseen illness. Look at how Taib al-Mahdi feels when he does this. He is intoxicated with the rapture of happiness and victory. And then he also wants to use the same method on anyone who displeases him. If you talk and your talk displeases him, Taib al-Mahdi will make you sneeze spontaneously, emit thrilling cries like women at a wedding, and also maybe have or suffer uncontrollable diarrhea. I'm asking, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that a good use of power? This person is clearly corrupt with power, because look at the way he lacks control when listening to the radio announcer. His chest tightens in fury. That is because of lack of control. When we look at the surprise attraction at the tea garden, the beautiful woman, now we see an old man who is not religious or pious. He is filled with a surge of delight, and his passion is aroused, and the attraction is surprising. Well, the woman barely notices him. She is focused on the ducks floating in the green lake. But Taib al-Mahdi now uses his power to compel the woman to fall for him. So that in itself is abuse of power, and that is because Taib could not control the excitement or the intoxication that came with power. He is clearly corrupt. So in order to answer such a question, we have to discuss how Taib is before he gets the power and how he becomes after he gets the power. And remember that we must use specific illustrations from the text. I advise the students to go and read the text specifically and get the details from each episode. Break the book into episodes like self-actualization, getting the awesome power, accepting the awesome power, the taxi incident, the brute on the bus, the memorable services, the unforeseen illness, paying the taxes, more services, proper planning, and the surprise attraction, and lastly we have miracle gone. So those are 12 episodes that I have. A student ought to study each episode very carefully, looking at the actions of the character, the reactions of the character, and the outcome of each of the actions. While doing all this, at the back of your mind you should be asking yourself, what do we learn from the story? What is the moral in the story? And one of the things that I have seen with power in A Man of Awesome Power is that power corrupts. Too much power can make someone to change or become worse than they were in the past. And in this case, Taib al-Mahdi abuses his power. Don't forget to subscribe to Wekati Wafula YouTube channel, and you can also read a lot of this information on wekati.blogspot.com.